Hi everyone, I'm Saleena and this is Collectively Real. So each week I'm going to do a segment where it's 7 questions with Saleena. Okay, so I feel like there's going to be 2 parts to this. There's certain days where I'm just kind of like, I just want to be like by myself in my own little world, and I just have like a nice quiet day. I wake up, I have to have breakfast. It's like the first thing I do, a nice warm cozy breakfast. I'll have some hot tea and kind of just keep it chill and mellow, watch like Sex and the City or something. Afternoon, I feel my best when I eat really healthy and very clean. So I'll do that, journal, do a blog post, or create an outline for next podcast, whatever it is, scrapbooking. Just really getting like those creative juices flowing sort of thing. And then in the evening time, I just like to lay on the couch and read my book. Right now I'm reading The Laws of Prosperity. And then I like to read the Bible, and I have my own Bible journal that I'll do. So study the scriptures and meditate on the word and whatnot. And then, I go to bed at like 10:30. I'm literally, truly 80 years old. So that's that kind of day. And the other side of me is where I'm like really excited. Like today, I love getting dressed up. I love doing my makeup, my hair, all my jewelry, accessories, whatever. I just feel my best doing that. And I love coming to the city, to San Francisco, and just kind of like running around town sort of thing. Coming to the studio and recording a podcast or a video like I'm doing right now, like whatever it is, just like I love that. So that's kind of my more very productive self. And then there's 3 Pandora stations that are my go-to. Yes, I'm on Pandora. I'm not on the Spotify wagon. I love my Toby Mac station, Sarah Bareilles, and Hipster Barbecue. Those are like my 3 go-tos. I don't know why, but it depends on the weather and which one I listen to. But 90% of the time it is a Toby Mac station. So yeah, those are my 2 pretty ideal days. Was younger, oh my gosh, there were so many things that I wanted to do. So the first thing was I wanted to be a marine biologist by like all means. I had every mermaid book you could think of, every sea creature book, all of it. I just was so fascinated with it. And I still am. I still want to get into like a submarine and just go as like deep down as you can go, like where you can't even go, where it's so dark. Like the uglier the creature, the better. Like I really want to get down underneath there. It's just so fascinating to me. And I just love the water. So I wanted to do that for a long time as a child. Then I started growing, and then I was like, I want to be a fashion designer. I just was always so infatuated with the magazines. I would always do these cutouts and have them. Literally, my walls were filled with, like, forget the paint. It was all magazine cutouts, literally. And it's funny, actually, I didn't think I was going to be asked this question. I wish I knew, so I could have brought something very special. I got a letter in the mail from myself, from my freshman year self in high school. My teacher at the time was Mrs. Coolier. She was our English teacher. I think this was in 2009. I think that's when I was a freshman. I don't know. Anyway, she had us write a letter to our future selves to see just where we would be at in life. And it was just writing what we wanted that moment and to see like what would be when the time came to receive that letter. So I got it recently, and I got teary-eyed. I just wanted to like hug my like younger self, and it just was so special reading those words. And there's just so much passion there, and there still is. Like honestly, part of the reason why I got teary-eyed was I'm doing essentially what I wanted to do. Like I'm still on my path, of course, but it's all pretty much the same. And so it was really, really cool to see. And then next on the list was I wanted to be a nutritionist, which I'm still really infatuated with health and nutrition. I've studied it. I still study. I read articles all the time about it. But yeah, I really wanted to be a nutritionist for some time. And then I got to high school, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be a psychologist and specialize in psychosomatics. And that was just everything to me. I mean, everything was just lining up to be that, to study psychology in whatever school I wanted to go to. Until one day, and I can do another episode about this, it was senior year in high school, like literally about to carry on to pursue this career. I was like, no, this is not what I want to do. And that's brought me to where I am today. That day in senior year, there's a specific day, just stuff happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. One of my dream jobs is to be an entertainment journalist, and for E! News, it's what I grew up watching, and I've always said that's what I want to do, but I never knew it was a job until this particular day in senior year. So that was really where everything like kickstarted, and now I've studied broadcast journalism. So I'm inspired by so many different people, but the first, I want to say four people that are coming to mind. This is hard. Um, hmm. The first one would definitely be Kat Sadler. I followed her since I was in middle school watching E! News, and I just love her drive. Every day it's something new. She has her podcast, she has her website, her blog, like all these things, and like it's kind of like how I am. Like I like to dabble in every little thing that I can, and she's a mirror to what I would aspire to be when I get there. So I really enjoy her work ethic and her creations. I mean, we're both Virgos, so maybe that has something to do with it. The other person that inspires me is Jesse James Decker. And this is kind of not a traditional answer. She inspires me in the way that she's so grounded with her family, with her husband, with her kids. Like, it's just so beautiful to me. And if you know me, I'm such a sap, and I love love, and I love how she is with her husband and how he is with her. Like, they just have such a beautiful foundation and connection, and they have three beautiful children, and it's what I aspire to be like, when it's time. Similar to Jesse James Decker is actually my next inspiration is Caitlin Bristow. I learned about Caitlin from, because I think she's from The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, maybe both, I'm not too sure actually. But anyway, I found out about her through watching Say Yes to the Dress on TLC. Told you I'm such a sap. And I just completely fell in love with her. I'm like, she's the cutest thing. She's so funny. She's hilarious, actually. And I literally just started following her on Instagram, and I've been, it's been about a year or so now, and now she's with her boyfriend Jason Tartick, and they're just so freaking cute. I love their love also, and I love their sincerity. She's just so unapologetically herself, and she's really kickstarted her career. But yeah, I love their love and their sincerity. And last but definitely not least is Nicole Crank. She is a Christian pastor, and I love her openness, and she's so smart, she's funny, and I love her relationship with God, and she just inspires me to continue to grow in that area and to consider things that I've never even considered, and just really thrive as a believer and as a woman and as just a human being. She also has just a beautiful family. They're all just such a catch as well. So if you didn't realize, the theme here is apparently I just want that happy ending. I would love to meet Joel Osteen. I grew up watching him. My grandma loved him, and so do I. I listen to his podcast regularly, and I just would want to pick his brain on like his testimony. I just want to hear all the stories he's been told over the years. I think it just would be a very raw and deep and honest conversation about God and life, and that would just be really, really, really fascinating. And then, of course, it would be Juliana Rancic for the other one. Yeah, of course. I mean, I grew up watching E! News religiously, like every red carpet, every interview, every time she got, dolled up for the interview. I'm like, oh my gosh, her dress, her this, her that, like just stunning. And I remember even growing up, I used to always say, I want to be the next Juliana Rancic. Like, she's just the epitome of everything that I aspire for my career path. And I would love to ask her about relationship advice. I'd love to just have girl talk, like have a glass of wine with her or more, and just like talk about everything. I think that would just be a lot of fun. Okay. I don't know if this counts as a habit, but I am just the most indecisive person. Like, it could be the most mundane thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Which one do I take? What do I, it's ridiculous. It's exhausting. I exhaust myself, and I'm just like, Saleena, just make a damn decision. Like, what the hell? But like, I'm literally always like, hey mom, like, what do I do? Calling my friend, which one do you think is best? Like, that needs to stop. So that's definitely a habit I would like to break. For something I'd like to start, that's a good question. I used to run 2 miles religiously every single day, like whether it was pouring rain out. I remember I literally had the bottom of my pants were drenched because it was pouring rain. I would still do my 2 miles. Didn't If it was 6 a.m., didn't matter. I would get it done. Like, I just felt my best doing that. So I did that for about 2 years or so. I would really like to make that a habit again. I'm gonna go two routes. One with someone I just admire from afar, I don't know personally, than someone I do know, it would be Caitlin Bristow again. She knows who she is and she really sticks with that. And even with her business, like with every dream she's had from what I've seen from afar as a viewer, she just like kills it, and it's really cool to witness. And she just seems so honest, and honesty is a really big thing for me. So it's very admirable. For someone I know, I admire all my friends, but one is coming to mind right now. My friend Desiree, I call her my older sister. She's just such a go-getter. It has been her dream to live in Australia for years now, and she did it. She moved, 3 months ago? That's crazy, but so amazing. She's born and raised in California and moved to freaking Australia. I mean, I've never been, but I don't know if I could say I would do that. So props to her. She just, when she puts her mind to something, she does it. So she's very much an inspiration to me as well. Okay, gosh, these are just really great questions. There was something that was bothering me for a little under 2 years. I'm going to keep this one a little private, but I'm working on a podcast episode about this soon. It was the only regret I've ever had, and I put it on my to-do list, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to live in such a way that, God forbid, something happened tomorrow, and I'd be like, why didn't I do that? So I tackled it. I did it almost 2 weeks ago, and I took care of it, and it wasn't the outcome I had hoped for, but that's not what matters. It's that I did it, and if life stopped today, I would feel good knowing that I did my all. I did what my heart wanted. So I feel very content in that, and other than that, no, I wouldn't have any regrets. All right, well, that was so much fun. I'm really excited to do this every week, the 7 questions with Saleena. So please message me if you have any thoughts, anything you're just curious about, anything. I'm an open book. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next week.